All right, hello. Today's video journal day 72. And I just want to say thanks for all the viewership that I've been getting. And I think it's really cool seeing the few people that have subscribed and getting a few views. I was surprised how much video journal day 69 blew up. That was pretty funny, pretty cool to see that. And so today for my one, oh wait, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was talking about how I feel. Today was today was pretty good. Today wasn't too bad. It hasn't been. Actually, you know what? It's been a little special. I was gonna say it hasn't been too special, but KFC diss track dropped. That was pretty cool. We're working on the senior show now, and I think that's gonna be a very interesting show to start on. It's gonna be my last show for the school. It's gonna be crazy. I'm so glad I ended up going into video production again for my last year, because I was thinking of not doing it, but I think it's really helped like boost my confidence, made me really realize that like I truly can do this content creation stuff. And so what I've been thinking about lately is I talk about like authenticity a lot. At least I think about authenticity a lot, and I know I want to be authentic on camera. But I was really thinking about it, and I'm like, what does authenticity mean to me, and what like truly is authenticity? And so I think I wrote about a little bit tonight. And so what I have realized is I'll take you through a few other definitions to understand this. So I thought of this idea of identity versus personality. And so what personality is to me is external traits that you present to others. And so like the kind of, but in a more general way that doesn't necessarily apply to you. I'm trying to think of a good example of this, but it's hard. This is hard. I guess just like being like, okay, here's a decent example. So being kind could be part of personality, because it is like, I think being kind is like part of personality because it's what you're like externally showing. It's like a trait that you are presenting to somebody else. Yeah, I'll say kindness is a personality trait, and then from there's like identity. And so identity is like the part of yourself that you like truly resonate with, that you don't always like share with other people because it's too personal to just like give away and like throw out there. Like you can't just like throw it out there. You gotta like keep it in and like only show it when it's like really the right moment. That's what identity is to me. And I would say that I have a decently well developed identity. I've noticed that one of the big issues with me is I think I have a hard time being vulnerable, and I think vulnerability is what gets depth in relationships, and I think vulnerability is also tied to identity. When you're being vulnerable, I think that's when you're showing your identity instead of just your personality. I think when you're being vulnerable, you are letting your identity leak out too. And so I'm trying to figure out right now how I can do that. And so tying this all back to authenticity, what authenticity means to me is presenting not only just your personality, but also your identity when in conversation with others and when like being around other people. And I guess like showing off your identity doesn't necessarily have to be, I guess, talking either. Like I feel like I'm sharing my identity with a lot of the clothes I wear. I wear like Pokemon clothes since I really enjoy that, and car shirts too. I'm a car enthusiast. I really take what I'm passionate about to heart, and so to me, that's also showing identity without like talking about it. But I also think it's nice to wear those shirts because they also can, in some instances, spark those like true friendships. Because if somebody sees that you are interested in something they're interested in, then you too, then they might start talking to you. And so it's kind of cool to do that. And so I kind of realized that I think it's kind of, I felt a bit kind of lonelier lately. I don't feel like I have very many like really like deep relationships with people. And I'm starting to realize I think it's my fault because I'm not 100% confident in like when I should share my identity. Because I feel like I'm pretty confident in my identity, but I think I'm having a hard time knowing when I can share it with people. I want to. I want to like get into more depth in both the relationships and conversations, and I think I'm going to need to, if I want to do that, I need to share my identity and be vulnerable, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how to do that right now. Well, all right, thanks if anybody's watching, and I'm going to become a consistent content creator in 2025.